Imagine a world buzzing with phones, tests, and endless pressure. That's the world many teens live in today. Their minds race like cars on a super-fast highway, and sometimes, they feel like they're going to crash. This documentary is about a special woman named Sarah, who knows exactly how that feels. We'll see quick flashes of what makes teens stressed, TikTok dances they have to learn, tests they have to ace, and friends they want to impress. It's like a whirlwind of things they have to do all the time. But then, the whirlwind slows down, and we see Sarah. She's like a calm island in the middle of a storm. She smiles, a warm, friendly smile that makes you feel like everything will be okay. Sarah didn't always have that calm smile. She went through a lot to get there. This is her story, the story of how she built a place of safety for herself, and then for so many others. We see kids looking at screens, their faces worried. A quick cut to a classroom, a student biting their nails during a test. Then, we see Sarah again, leading a group of teens in a breathing exercise. It's like she's showing them how to put on the brakes when their minds are racing too fast. The music changes, becoming more hopeful. We see Sarah's face, her eyes filled with kindness and understanding. She knows what these kids are going through because she went through her own tough times. Times when she felt lost and didn't know what to do. Times when she thought she might fail. Sarah's story isn't just about her success, it's about how she learned from her failures. It's about how she turned her own struggles into something amazing that helps so many people. It's a story about hope, about never giving up, and about finding your own way to shine, even when things get really, really hard. It's the story of a woman who built a wellness company to help millions, and how that story became a movie on Netflix. It is a story about how we can all find our own calm in the middle of the storm. But where did Sarah's journey begin? What made her the strong, caring person she is today? It all started long ago, when she was just a little girl with big dreams. Imagine a sunny afternoon. A small girl, maybe 8 years old, is setting up a lemonade stand on her street corner. That's Sarah. Even then, she had a spark, a desire to create and share. Her lemonade stand wasn't just about selling lemonade, it was about bringing smiles to people's faces on a hot day. She decorated it with colorful balloons and hand-drawn signs. She even made little paper umbrellas for the cups. She wasn't just doing it for the money, though, of course, a little extra pocket money was nice. She loved the feeling of making something and sharing it with others. She loved seeing people enjoy what she had created. That lemonade stand was her first taste of entrepreneurship, her first step on a path that would eventually lead her to helping millions. We see old photos of Sarah as a kid. She's always busy, always creating something. One picture shows her selling handmade friendship bracelets at school. Another shows her organizing a neighborhood car wash. She was always thinking of new ways to make things better, to bring people together, to make a difference, even in small ways. Her parents encouraged her creativity and her drive. They saw that she had something special, a spark that needed to be nurtured. They let her make mistakes and learn from them. They taught her the importance of hard work and perseverance. Even back then, Sarah had a kind heart. She used some of the money she earned to help other kids in her neighborhood. She organized toy drives and food collections for families in need. She always looked for ways to give back. These early experiences shaped Sarah into the person she is today. They taught her the value of hard work, the importance of creativity, and the power of kindness. They laid the foundation for her future success and her unwavering commitment to helping others, especially teens struggling with anxiety. The lemonade stand was just the beginning. It was the first chapter in a story that would eventually inspire millions. Years later, that little girl with the lemonade stand was all grown up and ready to take on the world. Sarah had a brilliant idea for a new app, something that would connect people in a whole new way. She called it ConnectUse, a social media platform designed to foster genuine relationships, not just superficial likes and comments. She gathered a team of talented programmers and designers. They worked day and night, fueled by pizza and passion. The office was a whirlwind of coding, brainstorming, and laughter. Sarah was in her element, leading the charge with boundless energy and enthusiasm. Initially, things looked incredibly promising. ConnectUse gained traction quickly. People loved the app's focus on meaningful connections. They were tired of the negativity and shallowness of other social media platforms. ConnectUse felt like a breath of fresh air. We see clips of early news reports praising ConnectUse. Experts predicted it would be the next big thing. Investors lined up to throw money at Sarah's startup. It felt like she was on top of the world. But then, something unexpected happened. A much larger, more established social media company launched a similar feature, essentially copying ConnectUse's core concept. Suddenly, Sarah's app was struggling to compete. The big company had more resources, more marketing power, and a larger existing user base. The initial excitement began to fade. Investors grew nervous. Downloads slowed down. The team started to feel the pressure. The late-night pizza-fueled coding sessions became less frequent, replaced by tense meetings and worried faces. Sarah tried everything she could think of to save ConnectUse. She launched new features, ran aggressive marketing campaigns, and even tried to partner with other companies. But it wasn't enough. The competition was too fierce. Eventually, Sarah had to make the difficult decision to shut down ConnectUse. It was a devastating blow. She had poured her heart and soul into this project. She had believed in it with all her might. To see it fail was heartbreaking. The documentary shows Sarah giving a tearful speech to her team, thanking them for their hard work and dedication. It was a moment of profound sadness and disappointment. But even in that moment, Sarah refused to give up. She knew that this failure wasn't the end of her story. It was just a chapter. And she was determined to write a new one. A better one. Determined to prove that she could succeed, Sarah didn't let the failure of ConnectUse keep her down for long. She analyzed what went wrong, learned from her mistakes, and started brainstorming new ideas. This time, she decided to venture into a completely different industry, fashion. Sarah had always loved clothes and style. She believed that fashion could be a form of self-expression, a way for people to feel confident and empowered. So, she decided to launch her own clothing line, focusing on sustainable and ethically produced garments. She called her company Eco-Chic, and her vision was to create beautiful, stylish clothes that were also good for the planet and fair to the people who made them. It was an ambitious goal, but Sarah was determined to make it happen. The documentary shows Sarah sketching designs, sourcing fabrics, and visiting factories. She was involved in every aspect of the business, from the creative process to the manufacturing and marketing. She worked tirelessly to bring her vision to life. The early days of Eco-Chic were filled with challenges. Sarah had to navigate the complexities of the fashion industry, find reliable suppliers, and build a brand from scratch. She faced skepticism from some who doubted her ability to succeed in such a competitive market. But Sarah persevered. She was passionate about her vision, and she believed that there was a growing demand for sustainable and ethical fashion. She worked hard to build relationships with retailers and influencers, and she slowly started to gain traction. Eco-Chic's clothing was unique and stylish, and it resonated with consumers who were looking for more conscious and responsible fashion choices. The company started to grow, and Sarah felt like she was finally on the right track. She poured more and more into her fashion line, driven by passion. However, beneath the surface, problems were brewing. Managing a clothing line proved far more complex than she anticipated. Manufacturing delays, unexpected costs, and intense competition began to take their toll. Sarah soon realized that she was in over her head. The dream of Eco-Chic was turning into a nightmare. The financial strain on Sarah was immense. To keep Eco-Chic afloat, she had taken out loans, maxed out her credit cards, and even borrowed money from friends and family. The pressure to succeed was crushing. We see Sarah working late into the night, hunched over her laptop, surrounded by invoices and spreadsheets. Her face is etched with worry and exhaustion. She's constantly on the phone, trying to negotiate with suppliers, chase down payments, and calm anxious investors. The documentary shows flashbacks of Sarah's creative struggles. She's staring blankly at a sketchpad, unable to come up with new designs. She's second-guessing her choices, wondering if she's lost her creative spark. The joy she once found in fashion has been replaced by stress and self-doubt. The long hours and constant pressure were taking a toll on Sarah's health and well-being. She wasn't sleeping properly, she wasn't eating healthy meals, and she wasn't taking care of herself. She was so focused on saving her company that she neglected her own needs. The documentary includes interviews with Sarah's friends and family, who expressed their concern for her. They saw her pushing herself to the brink of exhaustion, and they worried about her mental and physical health. They tried to encourage her to slow down and take a break, but Sarah was too determined to give up. The turning point came when a major order was delayed due to a factory strike. Sarah had promised her retailers that the clothes would be delivered on time, and now she was facing the prospect of losing those crucial accounts. The financial consequences would be devastating. Desperate, Sarah flew to the factory to try to resolve the situation. She spent days negotiating with the factory workers and management, trying to find a solution that would satisfy everyone. But it was no use. The strike continued, and the order remained delayed. Back home, Sarah received a call from her bank, informing her that she was in default on her loans. She had no money to pay them, and her credit rating was plummeting. She realized that she was on the verge of losing everything. The dream of eco-chic had turned into a complete and utter disaster. Sarah was facing financial ruin, and she felt like she had let everyone down. She was overwhelmed by feelings of shame, guilt, and despair. It was the lowest point of her life. The long hours and financial stress had finally broken her. The documentary now shows Sarah at her absolute lowest. She's lost her business, her savings, and her sense of self-worth. She's facing a mountain of debt and the shame of failure. She isolates herself from her friends and family, feeling like a burden to everyone around her. We see her in her small, empty apartment, surrounded by boxes of unsold eco-chic clothing. The vibrant colors of the clothes seem to mock her, a reminder of her shattered dreams. She spends her days in a daze, unable to eat, sleep, or focus on anything. The camera lingers on Sarah's face, capturing the pain and despair in her eyes. She looks lost and broken, a shadow of the confident and ambitious woman she once was. She questions everything she's ever done, wondering if she's simply not cut out for success. The documentary includes voiceovers of Sarah's journal entries from this period, revealing her darkest thoughts and feelings. She writes about feeling like a failure, a fraud, and a disappointment to everyone she knows. She contemplates giving up altogether, wondering if life is even worth living. One particularly poignant scene shows Sarah standing on a bridge, looking down at the water below. The scene is filmed in slow motion, emphasizing her sense of hopelessness and despair. It's a powerful and unsettling moment, highlighting the severity of her mental state. Her parents, deeply worried, try to reach out, but Sarah pushes them away, unable to face their concern and disappointment. She feels like she's let them down, and she doesn't want them to see her in such a broken state. The music in the documentary becomes somber and melancholic, reflecting Sarah's inner turmoil. The visuals are dark and muted, creating a sense of gloom and despair. It's a stark contrast to the bright and optimistic tone of the earlier scenes. This is Sarah's rock bottom. She's lost everything, and she feels like there's no way out. She's contemplating giving up, convinced that she's destined to fail. But even in this darkest of moments, a tiny spark of hope remains. A flicker of resilience that will eventually lead her on a new path, a path that will ultimately change her life and the lives of millions of others. The documentary makes it clear that this low point, though painful, is a necessary part of her journey. One day, Sarah's mom, with gentle persistence, finally convinces her to seek professional help. Reluctantly, Sarah agrees to see a therapist. She's skeptical at first, unsure if talking about her problems will actually make a difference. The documentary shows Sarah's first therapy session. She's hesitant and guarded, struggling to open up about her feelings. But as she starts to talk, she realizes that it's a safe space where she can be honest and vulnerable without judgment. Her therapist helps her to understand the root causes of her anxiety and depression. She learns that her business failures triggered deep-seated fears of inadequacy and a need for control. She also discovers that she's been neglecting her own mental and emotional well-being for years. Through therapy, Sarah is introduced to the world of wellness and mindfulness. She learns about meditation, breathing exercises, and other techniques for managing stress and anxiety. She starts to practice these techniques regularly, and she slowly begins to feel a sense of calm and peace. The documentary shows Sarah meditating in a quiet room, her face relaxed and serene. She's learning to quiet her racing thoughts and to be present in the moment. She's also learning to be kinder and more compassionate to herself. As Sarah delves deeper into the world of wellness, she discovers a passion for helping others. She realizes that she's not alone in her struggles with anxiety and depression. Many people, including teens, are suffering in silence. She starts attending wellness workshops and retreats, where she connects with other people who are on a similar journey. She learns from experts in the field and gains a deeper understanding of the mind-body connection. The music in the documentary becomes more uplifting and hopeful, reflecting Sarah's growing sense of well-being. The visuals are brighter and more vibrant, symbolizing her newfound sense of clarity and purpose. Therapy becomes a turning point for Sarah. It's the first step on a path towards healing and self-discovery. It introduces her to the world of wellness and mindfulness, which will ultimately inspire her to create a company that helps millions of teens cope with anxiety. This is where her journey truly begins to shift, from failure and despair to hope and purpose. She finally begins to put herself first. As Sarah continues her own healing journey, she starts to pay closer attention to the world around her. She notices that anxiety is a growing problem, especially among teenagers. She sees it in their faces, in their social media posts, and in the stories they share with her. The documentary shows clips of teens talking about their struggles with anxiety. They describe feeling overwhelmed by schoolwork, social pressures, and the constant barrage of information and stimulation. They talk about feeling isolated and alone, unsure of where to turn for help. Sarah realizes that many teens don't have the resources or support they need to cope with anxiety. They may not have access to therapy or other mental health services. They may not have supportive families or friends who understand what they're going through. She also recognizes that the traditional approaches to mental health often fail to resonate with teens. They may be reluctant to talk to adults about their problems, or they may feel like therapy is too clinical and impersonal. Sarah remembers her own struggles with anxiety and depression, and she empathizes with these teens. She knows what it's like to feel lost and alone, and she wants to do something to help. She starts volunteering at a local youth center, where she leads mindfulness workshops and shares her own story of overcoming adversity. She connects with the teens on a personal level, creating a safe and supportive space where they can share their experiences and learn coping skills. The documentary shows Sarah leading a group of teens in a guided meditation. They close their eyes and focus on their breath, learning to quiet their racing thoughts and to find a sense of inner peace. It's clear that she's making a real difference in their lives. Through her volunteer work, Sarah gains a deeper understanding of the challenges that teens face. She realizes that there's a huge unmet need for accessible and effective mental health resources for young people. This realization inspires her to take action and to create a company that can make a real difference in the lives of millions of teens. This is where her purpose becomes clear. She finally knows what she is meant to do. With a newfound sense of purpose, Sarah starts small. She remembers the sting of failure from her previous ventures, so she's careful and deliberate this time. She doesn't have much money, but she has passion, experience, and a genuine desire to help. She begins by offering free mindfulness workshops at the local library and community centers. She teaches teens simple techniques for managing stress and anxiety, such as deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and guided meditation. She shares her own story of overcoming adversity, hoping to inspire them to believe in themselves. The documentary shows Sarah leading these workshops. The teens are initially hesitant and skeptical, but they quickly warm up to her. They appreciate her honesty, her empathy, and her genuine concern for their well-being. They start to open up about their own struggles, creating a sense of community and support. Sarah also creates a simple website with free resources for teens struggling with anxiety. She posts articles, videos, and guided meditations that they can access anytime, anywhere. She uses social media to promote her website and to connect with teens online. The documentary shows snippets of Sarah's website and social media posts. They're simple but effective, offering practical tips and encouraging messages. She's building a community of support for teens who feel lost and alone. Word of mouth spreads quickly. Teens tell their friends about Sarah's workshops and website, and more young people start to seek her out for help. She's making a real difference in their lives, one workshop and one website visit at a time. She names her company Mindful Me, a simple and relatable name that resonates with teens. It's not about fixing them, it's about empowering them to find their own inner strength and resilience. The documentary highlights the positive feedback that Sarah receives from teens and their parents. They express their gratitude for her help, saying that she's given them the tools and the support they need to cope with anxiety and to live happier, healthier lives. This is the beginning of Sarah's wellness company. It's a humble start, but it's built on a solid foundation of purpose, passion, and a genuine desire to help. She's using her own experiences to make a difference in the world, and she's just getting started. It's a far cry from the high-pressure world of tech and fashion, and yet, Sarah has never felt more fulfilled. Building Mindful Me wasn't easy. Sarah faced many challenges in the early days. She had very limited funding, relying on her own savings and small donations from the community. She often worked long hours, juggling multiple tasks and wearing many hats. The documentary shows Sarah struggling to balance her passion for helping teens with the practical realities of running a business. She's teaching workshops, creating content, managing the website, and handling all the administrative tasks herself. She's exhausted, but she's determined to make it work. She also faced skepticism from some people who didn't understand her vision. They questioned her qualifications, doubted the effectiveness of mindfulness techniques, and dismissed her efforts as a hobby rather than a legitimate business. Some even criticized her for focusing on mental health, arguing that it was a personal issue, not a societal one. The documentary includes interviews with some of these skeptics, who expressed their doubts and concerns. They represent the challenges that Sarah faced in overcoming societal stigma and changing people's perceptions of mental health. But amidst these challenges, there were also moments of triumph. The positive feedback from teens and their parents kept Sarah going. They shared stories of how Mindful Me had helped them to cope with anxiety, improve their relationships, and find a sense of hope. The documentary shows Sarah reading some of these testimonials. Her face lights up with joy and gratitude. She realizes that her work is making a real difference in people's lives, and that's what matters most. The online community around Mindful Me also grew steadily. Teens from all over the world started connecting with each other through the website and social media, sharing their experiences and offering support. Sarah had created a safe and inclusive space where teens could feel understood and accepted. The documentary highlights some of these online interactions. Teens are sharing their struggles, offering words of encouragement, and celebrating each other's successes. It's a powerful testament to the importance of community and connection in overcoming mental health challenges. Despite the limited funding and the skepticism, Sarah persevered. She believed in her mission, and she was determined to make Mindful Me a success. The early struggles only made her more resilient and more committed to helping teens cope with anxiety. The positive feedback and the growing online community fueled her determination, proving that her work was not only needed but also deeply valued. She had started something special, something that was making a real difference in the world. As Mindful's impact became increasingly clear, Sarah started attracting attention from investors who recognized the potential of her mission. This time, however, Sarah was much more cautious. She remembered the mistakes she made with her previous startups, and she was determined to build Mindful.me on a solid foundation of purpose and sustainability. The documentary shows Sarah meeting with potential investors, carefully vetting them and ensuring that they shared her values. She turned down several offers that didn't feel right, prioritizing her mission over financial gain. With the right investors on board, Mindful.me was able to scale its operations significantly. Sarah expanded her team, hiring talented professionals who were passionate about mental health and youth empowerment. She launched online courses that provided in-depth training in mindfulness techniques and coping strategies for anxiety. These courses were accessible to teens all over the world, breaking down geographical barriers and expanding Mindful's reach. The documentary shows snippets of these online courses, featuring engaging videos, interactive exercises, and supportive instructors. The courses are designed to be fun and accessible for teens, making learning about mental health engaging. Sarah also developed a mobile app that provided teens with daily mindfulness exercises, guided meditations, and access to a supportive online community. The app became a popular tool for managing anxiety on the go. The documentary shows teens using the Mindful.me app in various settings, at school, at home, and on the bus. The app provides them with a sense of calm and control in their daily lives. Perhaps most significantly, Sarah partnered with schools to integrate Mindful's programs into their curriculum. She trained teachers and counselors to use mindfulness techniques in the classroom, creating a more supportive and mentally healthy learning environment. The documentary shows Sarah leading a training session for teachers. They're learning how to incorporate mindfulness into their lessons, how to recognize the signs of anxiety in students, and how to create a classroom culture of compassion and understanding. Through these strategic partnerships and innovative programs, Mindful's reach expanded exponentially. The company was now helping millions of teens cope with anxiety and build resilience. Sarah's vision was becoming a reality, and she was making a profound impact on the world. She scaled her business not just for profit, but for the benefit of millions. Now, the documentary shifts its focus to the teens whose lives have been transformed by Mindful.me. We hear from several young people, each with their own unique story of overcoming anxiety and improving their mental health. There's Emily, a high school student who used to struggle with panic attacks before exams. She shares how the Mindful.me app helped her to manage her anxiety and to feel more confident in her abilities. We see her using the app on her way to school, taking a few deep breaths and practicing a guided meditation before her test. Then there's David, a shy and introverted teen who used to feel isolated and alone. He talks about how the Mindful.me online community helped him to connect with other teens who understood what he was going through. He found a sense of belonging and support that he had never experienced before. We see him chatting with other teens online, sharing his struggles and offering words of encouragement. We also hear from Maria, a talented athlete who used to put immense pressure on herself to succeed. She shares how the Mindful.me workshops helped her to develop a healthier mindset and to focus on enjoying the process rather than just the outcome. We see her practicing mindfulness techniques before a big game, calming her nerves and focusing on the present moment. Each of these teens shares their personal stories with honesty and vulnerability. They talk about the challenges they faced, the tools and techniques they learned from Mindful.me, and the positive changes they've experienced in their lives. The documentary interweaves these personal stories with expert commentary from therapists and educators, who explain the science behind mindfulness and its effectiveness in treating anxiety. They highlight the importance of providing teens with accessible and evidence-based mental health resources. These teen testimonials are powerful and moving. They demonstrate the real-world impact of Mindful.me and the transformative power of mindfulness. They show that it is possible to overcome anxiety and to live a happier, healthier life. They are a testament to Sarah's vision and her unwavering commitment to helping teens thrive. The documentary emphasizes that Sarah's journey of failure and recovery has paved the way for these teens to find their own paths to well-being. The success of Mindful Me didn't go unnoticed. News of Sarah's work spread far and wide, capturing the attention of people in all walks of life. One day, she received an unexpected phone call from a producer at Netflix. The producer explained that they were interested in telling Sarah's story in a documentary. They had been researching organizations that were making a positive impact on the world, and Mindful Me stood out as a shining example. Sarah was initially hesitant. She had always been a private person, and she wasn't sure if she was ready to share her personal story with the world. She also worried about the potential impact on Mindful Me. Would a documentary help or hinder her mission? The documentary shows Sarah discussing the opportunity with her team and her family. They encouraged her to consider it, pointing out that a Netflix documentary could reach an even wider audience and inspire countless more teens to seek help. The producer assured Sarah that they would handle her story with sensitivity and respect. They wanted to create a film that was both informative and inspiring, a film that would raise awareness about teen anxiety and promote the importance of mental health. After much deliberation, Sarah decided to move forward with the documentary. She realized that it was an opportunity to amplify her message and to reach teens who might not otherwise have access to Mindful's resources. The documentary shows Sarah signing the contract with Netflix, a moment that symbolizes her commitment to sharing her story with the world. It's a turning point in her journey, a moment when she steps onto a larger stage and embraces her role as an advocate for teen mental health. The Netflix producer explains their vision for the documentary, emphasizing the importance of telling Sarah's story in an authentic and compelling way. They want to capture her struggles, her triumphs, and her unwavering commitment to helping teens thrive. Sarah realizes that this documentary is not just about her, it's about all the teens who are struggling with anxiety, and it's about offering them hope and inspiration. She is ready to share her story and help even more people find their calm in the storm. Now, our documentary gives viewers a peek behind the scenes of their documentary. We see snippets of the filming process, offering a glimpse into the making of the story we're watching. We see Sarah being interviewed, sharing her story with honesty and vulnerability. She talks about her childhood dreams, her business failures, her struggles with anxiety, and her ultimate triumph in creating Mindful Me. She doesn't shy away from the difficult moments, but she also emphasizes the lessons she learned and the importance of perseverance. The documentary shows clips of Sarah's family being interviewed. Her parents talk about her early entrepreneurial spirit and her unwavering determination. Her siblings share stories of her kindness and her commitment to helping others. They reveal the impact her journey has had on their own lives. We also see the teens who have benefited from Mindful Me being interviewed. They share their personal stories of overcoming anxiety and improving their mental health. They talk about how Sarah and Mindful Me have changed their lives, giving them the tools and the support they need to thrive. The documentary shows the film crew capturing various scenes, from Sarah leading a mindfulness workshop to teens using the Mindful Me app. They're trying to capture the essence of Mindful Me and the positive impact it's having on the world. We see the director working closely with Sarah, ensuring that her story is told with authenticity and respect. They discuss the key themes of the documentary and the messages they want to convey. The documentary includes candid moments of Sarah interacting with the film crew, sharing her insights and her vision for the film. She's actively involved in the creative process, ensuring that the documentary accurately reflects her story and her mission. These behind-the-scenes glimpses provide a deeper understanding of the making of the documentary and the people involved. They show the dedication, the passion, and the commitment that went into telling Sarah's story, and the documentary culminates with the premiere of the film on Netflix. We see scenes from the premiere event, capturing the excitement and anticipation in the air. Sarah walks the red carpet, surrounded by her family, her team, and the teens whose lives she's touched. She smiles for the cameras, radiating confidence and gratitude. She's come a long way from the dark days of near bankruptcy. The documentary shows clips of the audience watching the film, their faces reflecting a range of emotions: sadness, joy, hope, and inspiration. They're captivated by Sarah's story and the stories of the teens she's helped. As the credits roll, the audience erupts in applause. They're moved by the film's powerful message and the transformative impact of Mindful Me. They give Sarah a standing ovation, recognizing her unwavering commitment to helping teens thrive. The documentary then shifts to the online reaction to the film. Social media is buzzing with positive comments and reviews. People are sharing their own stories of overcoming anxiety and expressing their gratitude to Sarah and Mindful Me. Critics praise the documentary for its honesty, its compassion, and its uplifting message. They highlight Sarah's resilience and her unwavering commitment to helping teens thrive. They call the film inspiring, powerful, and a must-see for anyone who cares about mental health. The documentary shows snippets of these positive reviews, highlighting the film's critical acclaim. It's clear that the documentary has resonated with audiences and critics alike. The premiere and reception of the documentary are a resounding success. Sarah's story has touched the hearts of millions, and Mindful's message of hope and resilience is spreading far and wide. The film has. Now, Sarah sits down for a final interview, reflecting on her incredible journey. The camera focuses on her face, capturing her wisdom, her resilience, and her unwavering commitment to helping others. She talks about her early failures, her struggles with anxiety, and her eventual triumph in creating Mindful Me. She emphasizes that failure is not the opposite of success, but rather a stepping stone towards it. She shares that her failures taught her valuable lessons and helped her to become the person she is today. The documentary shows flashbacks of Sarah's past, her lemonade stand, her failed startups, her moments of despair. These images serve as a reminder of how far she's come and the obstacles she's overcome. She reflects on the importance of mental health and the need for accessible resources for teens. She shares her hope that the documentary will inspire young people to seek help and to know that they're not alone. Sarah also talks about the power of mindfulness and its effectiveness in managing anxiety. She shares her personal experiences with mindfulness and how it has helped her to find calm and. Looking ahead, Sarah shares her vision for the future of Mindful Me. She's more determined than ever to expand the company's reach and to develop new programs that address the evolving needs of teens. She wants to create more online courses, more mobile apps, and more partnerships with schools. She wants to make Mindful Me accessible to every teen who needs it, regardless of their location or their financial situation. The documentary shows Sarah brainstorming new ideas with her team. They're discussing new ways to use technology to reach teens, new topics to cover in their courses, and new ways to partner with schools and community organizations. She also wants to create programs that address the specific challenges that teens are facing today, such as social media addiction, cyberbullying, and climate anxiety. She recognizes that these issues are having a significant impact on teens' mental health, and she wants to provide them with the tools and the support they need to cope. The documentary shows snippets of Sarah researching these issues, consulting with experts, and talking to teens about their experiences. She's committed to staying on the cutting edge of mental health and to providing teens with the most relevant and effective resources possible. Sarah also envisions expanding Mindful's reach beyond teens. She wants to create programs for parents, educators, and other adults who play a role in teens' lives. She believes that by educating and empowering these adults, she can create a more supportive and mentally healthy environment for young people. The documentary shows Sarah leading a workshop for parents, teaching them how to communicate effectively with their teens, how to recognize the signs of anxiety, and how to create a home environment that promotes well-being. She dreams of a world where every teen has access to the mental health resources they need to thrive, a world where mental health is valued and prioritized, and a world where young people feel empowered to reach their full potential. Her vision is ambitious, but she's confident that with hard work, determination, and a lot of compassion, she can make it a reality. Sarah's past has taught her resilience, and her present fuels her vision for a brighter future. As the documentary draws to a close, a powerful call to action is issued. Viewers are encouraged to seek help if they are struggling with anxiety or other mental health challenges. They're reminded that it's okay to ask for help and that there are resources available to support them. The screen displays a list of organizations that are working to improve mental health, including Mindful Me and other reputable mental health organizations. Contact information, website addresses, and phone numbers are provided, making it easy for viewers to access these resources. Viewers are also encouraged to support organizations like Mindful Me that are working to make a difference in the lives of young people. They're reminded that even small donations can have a big impact. The documentary emphasizes the importance of talking openly about mental health and breaking down the stigma that often prevents people from seeking help. Viewers are encouraged to start conversations with their friends, their family, and their communities about mental health. The documentary also highlights the importance of self-care and practicing mindfulness techniques. Viewers are encouraged to take care of their own mental and emotional well-being, and to make time for activities that bring them joy and relaxation. The call to action is clear and compelling. It's a reminder that mental health is just as important as physical health, and that we all have a role to play in creating a more supportive and mentally healthy world. The film wants the viewers to be inspired by Sarah's journey, not just watch it. The documentary ends with a message of hope and encouragement. Viewers are reminded that it is possible to overcome anxiety and to live a happy, fulfilling life. They're encouraged to believe in themselves, to never give up on their dreams, and to always seek out the support they need. The film encourages everyone to become a part of the solution. It is the end of Sarah's story, but hopefully, the beginning of many others. The final scene of the documentary is a hopeful and uplifting montage. We see teens from all walks of life practicing mindfulness techniques in various settings. We see a group of teens meditating in a park, their faces relaxed and serene. They're taking a few moments out of their busy day to connect with their breath and to find a sense of inner peace. We see a teen using the Mindful Me app on her phone, practicing a guided meditation before a big test. She's calming her nerves and focusing on the present moment. We see a group of teens participating in a Mindful Me workshop, learning coping skills for anxiety and sharing their experiences with each other. They're building a community of support and connection. The music swells, becoming more uplifting and inspiring. The visuals are bright and vibrant, symbolizing the positive impact that Sarah's work is having on the world. The documentary interweaves these scenes with shots of Sarah smiling, watching the teens with pride and gratitude. She's seeing her vision come to life, and she's making a real difference in the lives of young people. The final shot is a wide shot of the earth, symbolizing the global reach of Mindful Me and the potential for mindfulness to transform the world. The documentary ends with a simple message: find your calm. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos and stress, it's possible to find a sense of inner peace and to live a happier, healthier life. It is a testament to the ripple effect of Sarah's work, a symbol of hope for a future where every teen has the tools they need to thrive. It is a perfect ending to Sarah's story, and a hopeful beginning for the viewers. The film leaves the audience with a feeling of hope.